Welcome to the Book Buzz Show with Cheryl, where we dive into the captivating world of books. Here at the Book Buzz Show, we encourage you to make your pages turn with joy and immerse yourself in a magical literary experience. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Book Buzz Show with Cheryl, where we dive into the captivating world of books. Here at the Book Buzz Show, we encourage you to make your pages turn with joy and immerse yourself in a magical literary experience. Enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to the Book Buzz Show. I'm your host, Cheryl Brooks. And if you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. If you enjoy the upcoming show, please like, follow, and subscribe. And especially if you end up liking this particular episode, which I'm sure you will, please be sure to like this episode. It helps the show get noticed. Also, we are trying to reach a goal of 500 subscribers on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, please do so. And please share it with your friends, other book lovers. Also, be sure to stick around for our second segment where my co-host and myself, we go over our weekly highlight. And also, please have your pen and paper ready for our guest 3 recommendations as well. So you should have plenty of book recommendations tonight. All right. And the book that we'll be discussing this evening is You Can't Hurry Second Chances by Michelle Stimpson. And I really enjoyed this read. So I think we're going to have a great conversation. And I highly recommend you all, if you haven't already read it, to go out and get it. You won't be disappointed. Also, just a FYI, here at the Book Buzz Show, we do discuss the characters and the story with minor spoilers, but we don't give any major spoilers away. Nothing that will ruin your reading enjoyment, but we do, discuss the book. So you do give like minor spoilers. All right, without further ado, I'm going to bring on tonight's guest, Michelle Stimpson, along with my co-host this evening, Katina Brown. Let me bring them on stage. Welcome, Michelle Stimpson, to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It is a pleasure to be here.
Yes, I can't believe it's the first time you've been on. I'm so happy to have you here.
We're the same circles and everything.
I know. I don't know how that happened, but but this was a good book to start with, though, because I really, like I was telling you off camera, I really enjoyed it, and I know Katina felt the same way.
Thank you.
Very enjoyable read. And it looks like we have a few people in the audience. Let's see. I don't know what's been going on with my thing where it's not moving like it's supposed to. Hello, Myra. Thank you for joining us. Miss JB, thank you for joining us.
Okay, I see the people.
Hey, Isla. Yeah, hey, Francis, Mama Tony, Antoinette, Shavana. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. This is a good one for you all. All right, we're going to get right into it. Okay, since this is your first time on the show, can you give us a little background as far as how you got started on your professional writing journey?
Certainly. Again, thank you for this opportunity. I have been writing professionally for about 20 years now, 22 years this year.
Okay.
But I started my writing journey writing in a diary. My mother had a really bad car accident when I was about 12, and I
Mm,
started keeping a diary dealing with. I'm the oldest girl, and I'm the oldest child and the only girl.
okay.
So you know what that means. Right. I basically became the little mama of the family.
Right.
And so I am so grateful for journaling because I feel like it could have been so many things. I was so unsupervised during that time. You know, my father was working two jobs and all the things. So I was taking care of my little brothers and writing all of my issues and what little boy I liked and all the little things. And my mother just wasn't there because she couldn't be.
Right.
And so thankfully she recovered from that and everything after a while. But writing really just became my outlet. It became, I didn't realize it, but it was kind of my prayer that I was doing at the same time. And so I'm really just grateful for that opportunity. That's how I started writing. Before that, I was just and even in that, I was writing little plays at school. My mother said my face was always in a book with all the Ramona Beezus stories and Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I have been a reader, and I thought I would write one book. I was like, I'm just going to write a book, just one. And here I am, 70 books later, still doing it.
Wow. So when you first start, what year was it that you
My
started?
first book, Boaz Brown, was published in 2004.
Okay. And
Okay.
did you go the traditional route, shopping it around, or did you
I
go the
did. I
independent route?
did.
Okay.
I'm very grateful. I had it's an interracial romance. It's an interracial Christian romance.
Okay.
And I first shopped it to BET. They turned it down. And then the second publisher that I sent it to was still kind of up and coming. I think Victoria Christopher Murray had her first book out with them. Tiffany Warren had her first book out with them. And
Okay.
I was one of the very early uh, authors that came out with Walkworthy Press. And
Okay.
that was the second publisher that I sent it to. And they were one of the major ones. So thankfully, and the thing about it is, Cheryl, I didn't know anything really about the industry. I didn't know that that was good. I didn't know what it was.
Right. Right.
It was a hardcover book. My first novel came out in hardcover, and I didn't know what that meant. And I'm kind of in some ways I feel like I might have missed some opportunities, but the other part of me is like I probably would have freaked me all the way out. So, sometimes you're better off just going and
Not
doing
doing
what
it
you
right.
do.
That's
Right.
true.
Because if people come in and start telling you all the things, then you'd be like, "Oh Lord, no, I'm scared now."
And that's good though that you were able to get a deal so early on, because I'm sure they kind of walked you through everything, the process, and all of that.
Right, met some
Because
wonderful
yes,
people. Yeah,
that's a blessing.
yeah. I was France. I
Um,
don't know if y'all ever read Frances Ray's work. She's
oh, I
passed on,
love
but
French.
she was the school nurse at my son's school.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
And so
Okay.
someone told me, you got to go talk to her. So she's the one who kind of showed me the ropes and so she will forever be dear to my
That's so
heart
cool.
because my very first book signing, we went to it together.
I love
That
that.
is
Oh
so
my
cool.
goodness. Yeah,
Hmm.
she's a favorite, definitely.
Mhm.
Yes.
Hey Jennifer, thank you for
Yay,
joining us.
Jennifer's in the house.
Hey Ola, thank you for joining us.
Hey,
Ola, this
Ola.
is a good one for you.
Awesome. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay, so what comes to you first as far as your writing process? Is it the story, the character?
Usually I have a character and idea kind of in my mind. I mean, it could be years sometimes that something's just rolling around in my head. But also sometimes I'll just be somewhere or something might be happening in my family, or I'll see a report on TV and be like, okay, that was good. But what about the person that was actually on the right side? Did you see the little
Hmm.
person over there with that little
Hmm.
smile on her face?
Mhm.
So, and then I thankfully my life is usually pretty calm. I don't have a bunch of drama, so I have to get it from other people.
Say get inspiration other places.
Right? But I pretty much start with a very solid outline. Like I have to know exactly what's going to happen in every chapter,
Okay.
whose chapter it is, what's the purpose of it. And part of that is now when I was younger, writing 20 something years ago, I could knock a book out in 2.5 weeks and I didn't have to do all that.
Okay.
But at this point, I might write 2 or 3 chapters and then I might not get back to it for days. So I have to have that outline because I'll
Right.
forgot
Right.
now. What's her name? What does she have on?
Right.
I don't and I also have an issue as a writer with the pacing and the time of things. So one time in one book, I had a lady who was pregnant with the same baby for 2 Christmases. So, that's not going to work.
So that helps to keep you on
right.
track,
All of
right?
that keeps me in line as a writer. So yeah, if I don't
Okay.
do that, I will be all over the place.
I love that though, and I love hearing the different, the processes of the different authors. Because everybody
And
has
I've
their own
changed over
way.
the years. Like what I
Mhm.
could do, I mean, like as a writer and just as a person, my life is in different seasons. When I
Right.
had kids, I had to do things differently. And people
Yeah.
will tell you or try to guilt you into saying you must write every day. Sometimes you just can't write every day.
Right.
Your life does not lend it. I've been a caretaker for my mother. Like all these things have happened. And so I've had to adapt what I needed for myself. And just my own brain changes over years, right? So I had
Mhm.
to figure
Yeah.
out what I needed in every season.
Right. And what works for somebody else may not work for
Right
you.
now,
But
work
yeah,
for
as
you.
long as you're right, as long as you're getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do you think? Since you've written so many, and can you tell us again how many books you've written?
I have lost count. I think it's about 70.
I love that. Congratulations. Oh, that's a,
Thank you.
but so what do you think over all these books? What do you think you're most known for?
I would say dialogue.
Okay.
I'm pretty sharp when it comes to dialogue. I listen to people. I grew up with some really smart talking women,
Mm-hmm.
and we can turn a phrase in a minute. you know, it, it's just a part of my culture, I think. And also my voice, because I wrote in the diary for all those years,
Mm-hmm.
I just started writing first person from the get-go. I didn't know
Oh,
that was
really?
the
Okay.
hard thing. I didn't when I wrote my first novel, my publisher says to me, "All right, so you ready for the next one?" And I was not. I was like, "Really? We're writing another book?" And I was trying to tell the story of three sisters, but I couldn't do that in first person. And she said, "Well, why
Mm,
don't you try third person?" I said, "I've never even written anything in third person." And she said, "Well, writing first person is actually sometimes harder. It just
right.
never crossed my mind that
Yeah.
you could be in more than one place if you go third person." But
Mhm.
because I had written all those years in the journal, that's all I knew.
Actually, since I was began reading like as a child, so like that's what this norm
That's
usually
it.
used to be like third
Yeah.
person because it was like hard for me to get into first person.
Was it?
Yes, a
Yeah.
Okay.
lot, and still to this day, it
Yeah.
depends on the writing style. Because
Yeah.
Okay.
sometimes it takes me
Okay.
forever to get into a first person because it seems like it's more like you're constantly in the person's head, and that drives me
Yeah.
nuts.
And I
So
think
I
Maybe
had
it's
to
my
like
sometimes,
kind of
person though.
retrain my brain a little bit
Yeah.
right.
because we're seeing it more and more over the last
Yeah.
decade or more
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
with the first person. But yeah, I grew up on third person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but I've retrained. I'm better now, but it used to be like
I love a first person book. I feel like I can connect with the character when it's first person. I don't know why.
That's true.
I'm better now. I'm better now.
Okay. Okay.
And then I read a lot of fantasy and paranormal. So you
Oh,
have like
yeah.
a million points of
Right.
views in
Yeah.
in
Right.
those.
Now
Yeah.
that's when I get messed up. When there's too many people, I can't do an
Mhm.
audio book. I have to have the physical book because I'll be
Right.
like,
Right.
I forgot his name, all the stuff. So it
And it's
just depends on
difficult to
yeah.
keep track of who the person is that's talking, right? When
Mm-hmm.
you're
Right.
listening.
When you're listening. Yeah.
Now, do you have any like writing quirks, any special routines that you have to do to get started with your, when you sit down
I
and write?
used to, but then at some point it was like you just gotta get it in.
Like
you know,
whatever
Right.
the
I used to play a little game on my computer screen and just kind of get my mind in that place. But I think what I've come to lately is it's more about the physical setting for me lately. Like if I
Mm,
once I get home, because I do have at this point a full-time job. Over the years, sometimes I have a job, sometimes I haven't had a full-time job. It just depends on, what needs to happen. But right now I have a full-time job.
okay.
Once I get home, certain undergarments come off and that's it.
Say just as long as you relax
Right. And when I get too relaxed,
and free.
there's not gonna be any writing. So I have to literally, like, I have to physically go someplace
Right.
that's not too comfortable
Mm,
because if I get too comfortable, that's gonna be it.
It's a wrap.
I can see
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I can see that because I've heard some of the authors too that have been on have said that they write the best like when they're in the coffee house with the noise, the background noise, and
Mm-hmm.
all of that.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
mhm. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what advice would you give to someone just starting out in their writing journey?
The market is so different. and I'm going to speak on fiction because I think it's different from nonfiction, definitely. But the market is so different now than it was when I started in 2004. Back then, there was no, I don't even think we had Facebook. We didn't have all this social media.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I entered at a point where the publishers used to do a lot more because they were the only ones who had access to the readers. You know, we had to have a middleman, right? But I think that now, if it depends on what you want to do, I think you really have to have a really good idea of what you want to do in this writing field. So if you are like, hey, I don't want people to know my face. I just want to make money. That's an avenue for you. I mean, it used to be back in the day, nobody bothered Stephen King. Everybody knew he was a recluse. Nobody expected him to
True.
be on talking to people all
True.
day. I mean, people
Yeah.
used to leave writers alone and let us be the recluses that we are so we can write
Mm-hmm.
good books.
Right.
But now, it's just the market's just different. So if you want to be, reclusive and that kind of thing, then there are certain genres where you can kind of do that and be okay. But if you're writing women's fiction and book club fiction and that kind of a thing, then I think there's just a different expectation. So I think 10 years ago, I wouldn't have said this, but I think right now you need to think about how much social media do you really want to do? Like
Mm-hmm.
all of that has implications for what genre you would even want to go into and how you'd want to market your work. I mean, you could still do fiction, but just recognize, hey, I'm going to be the kind of person who goes to events, and that's how
Right.
I'll get my readership, as
Right.
opposed to posting every day or whatever that looks like. So I just think you want to have a match between your genre, what your true goals are. If you're like, I want to write the great American novel, and if I die and it becomes great later on, then that's fine with me. That's okay
Mm-hmm.
too. You just got to
Right.
know what it is that you want to do. And if you want to have a publisher, if you want to indie publish, like these are all viable options that you want to research.
I love that. And basically having a roadmap, an idea in your head already, or what type of author you want to be
Right.
and what you want to
Right.
write and all of that.
How much
Okay.
do you want to engage and what that
How
looks
much
like? Because I mean,
exposure?
you can hire people and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, especially now with so many books being written by artificial intelligence, people want to see a face,
True.
Yeah.
you
True.
know.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Because back in the day when I was reading well, we used to read a lot of I used to read a lot of like Danielle Steele and
Mm-hmm.
but you never really met her or anything, but you
No, no, because here's the thing: authors, writers, and artists are often very reclusive people,
mm-hmm.
and we used to respect that. And we don't
True.
anymore.
Not
True. What's that saying? You have to. I think it was Queen Elizabeth that said you have to be seen to be believed, or something like that. So yeah,
Well, that's
and
probably
that's
even
that.
more true now.
Right.
Yeah.
And Antoinette said she loved Frances Ray too. Uh,
Yes, she was such a sweetheart.
Island is second in freedom when you come home from a long day.
The freedom.
Right.
Yes.
Oh man. Okay, so I have a few fun questions that I started asking romance authors when they come on. Okay, so what is one of your favorite romantic gestures made by one of your characters?
Okay. I think in my I did not actually fancy myself a romance writer, but I always wrote the romance. I think romance is I don't know, as much as I read it and write it, I always think it's kind of cheesy. But my favorite parts are always that cute meet when they first meet.
Mm-hmm.
And how whatever the circumstance is, that kind of goes with whatever trope they're writing, whether it's enemies to lovers or, my brother's best friend, whatever that
Right,
is.
right.
Like, I love that moment where you go, this is what's getting ready to happen. I can see it. I can see it. Like, I love that. I love that.
Now, that's a good point that you just made though. So do you consider yourself a romance author, or do you consider yourself more Christian fiction, women's fiction?
I would say my main ones are women's fiction and probably Christian fiction. Because the funny thing is, when I wrote Sisters with a Side of Greens, and even this novel, especially Sisters with a Side of Greens, people were like, "This is a Christian book." Nobody told me. The people who don't want to read Christian fiction were like, "That ain't what I was trying." I was like, "That's not." I mean, you have a character who is a Christian. But maybe there's just an undertone of who I am and who I be that always comes out in what I do, and that's just what it's going to be. So I think I would call myself a women's fiction author, who does it with a purpose. Even when I write romance, I write romance in a way that the whole, even if it's a Christian romance, the whole point is not, I hope I find a man.
Right, right.
The I never want a woman to read my book and say, oh, if I could just get a man like she did, my life would be so much better off. Like, that's not the message that I've ever wanted to send, even though it is a romance book. I'm really conscious about that. I just feel like that's important. Now I forgot your whole question, but I hope that helped.
Okay, so what's an overused romance cliche that you secretly love? Like secret baby.
Oh, I love a secret baby. I love a secret baby. And this is not necessarily a romance thing, but I love a family secret.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love a good family secret. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Because I read a lot of mysteries. So, yeah. So I love that too. Let me see. Jennifer, she says she respects authors.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. Because how are you supposed to be writing books?
But some authors that I've had on, they say they're addicted. They say they're supposed to be writing and they're too busy on social media and stuff. So it does,
You know,
like
I do like social media to an extent. I think for me, and this is a whole other thing, but the landscape of my feed maybe is too political, and all that just drags me down. So anytime there's an election, I don't even get on social media.
Right, because yeah. I agree. Especially in these times, it's crazy. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing any. Okay, Myra says she also read Daniel Steele and Francis Ray.
Yes. Now I never did read Danielle Steele. I don't know what kind of life.
My goodness!
You're gonna take my card away. I know.
Michelle said you have to go back to.
We're gonna be together, Michelle. Because I've never read.
You know what? I really think I probably wasn't allowed. I grew up in a very conservative household.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm pretty sure, like, I couldn't listen to Prince. There was a lot of stuff I
wasn't allowed to do.
So I mean, I did sneak and read Bronze Thrills magazines. I don't know how I read those, but yeah.
Yeah. So but I loved her like Jules series. It was like sagas, generational type.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we had Rochelle Ayers on last year, and I was telling her that her last book that I read of hers reminded me of Jules.
Oh wow! Yeah. Okay. Oh wow! What a compliment.
And she did think it because she said she used to love Danielle Steele too. And JB said, "Oh, women's. Oh, you said that's what you consider Michelle's books. Okay.
JB, you're supposed to be giving me information. That was the whole thing. Okay.
So women's fiction and inspirational. Okay. Thank you, JB.
Thank you.
Looks like we have King out here. Hey,
yes,
King.
Hi, King. Good to see you. I was trying to see how I could type, but I don't see it. I don't want to mess myself up.
And Antoinette said, "Family secrets are the best drama."
Yes.
And,
yes.
And then, Ola, you said you never read her either. Okay, yeah, y'all have to check out Jules. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, good company.
And then, right.
I mean, I know I need to read them. I feel like I'm not a real live writer until I read a full live. But I read, not the other one. Is Danielle Steele? She got a male name too?
She writes as Rob.
Rob. Okay, I feel like I might have read him.
Yeah,
but I didn't realize that was her.
Mm-hmm. I think those are more like mysteries or something like that, or suspense or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
When you're in the mood for a good romance, what's your go-to movie?
Oh, my favorite of all time is probably The Best Man.
Ooh. Okay.
That is like, and really part 2 was good too, but still part 1 is probably. I saw that movie 5 times in the movie theater.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. So you did.
First came out. I watched it with everybody I knew.
I loved it too. I loved it. Yeah, it was good. That was a really good one, the first one. And then Mama Tony is saying she read Francis Ray and Daniel Steele.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 giants. I think, but Daniel still writing, like you said, under.
Is she?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get to our next part where we ask the guests to share 3 books off of their bookshelf. Oh, Shavana is telling us it's J.D. Robb.
J.D.
Okay.
Robb. Okay.
Oh, that's Nora
Okay.
Roberts, not Danielle Steele.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I read Nora Roberts.
Okay. Thank you, Shavana. It's Nora Roberts,
Yes,
not
thank
Danielle.
you. I have read some Nora Roberts, and I feel
But
like
I knew
I'm going up.
I saw Danielle Steele not too long ago, so I think she's still
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard that, JB. You know what? I grew up in, and JB wrote Once I Found Black Authors and all that goodness. I didn't look back. Look
Okay.
back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Am I supposed to be saying all the stuff in the comments?
No, that's good.
But
Feel free.
Go with it.
I went to school K-12 in a mostly white school.
Mhm.
And I didn't ever really read any. I don't even think I knew that there were a lot of Black authors like in the
Me either
world.
in the
And they
beginning,
probably
right.
weren't. They probably weren't publishing this really as much
Mhm.
anyway. So all I knew was, like I said, Ramona and Beezus and um, who's it, Judy Bloom, all of that. So and all of the texts that I was, told to read in school, I just never read books by Black authors. And so it's almost like I didn't have a taste for Black authors because of that upbringing.
Right.
And
You had
and
a certain
right,
style, right?
it's
Right.
almost
Reading.
like I also grew up eating a bunch of fast food and not, home cooked meals. So people are like, we have a smothered pork chops. I'd be like, oh, bad. I would like to have a big
Say
Mac.
what?
Oh, like, can I get a quarter pound of cheese?
You gotta go
Because I
with
was like, that's what I was raised on.
Yes.
So,
But yeah, I still
So-
read the majority Black authors, like 80%. But I still have like my authors that I've been reading for like decades,
Yeah.
so like 20%.
I
But
now have a preference for
yeah.
characters who look like me and such, like the Black church types of scenes and that kind of thing.
Right.
But it's Black, it's female, it's usually Southern. Like I've really niched down a lot with my reading. I mean, I read a lot of different things, but in terms of what I would reach for
Your
if I had a
preference,
choice,
yeah.
it is now a Black author.
Yeah. I love like we were talking about the small towns. Those are become my favorite, some of my favorites to read about with the community and all of that. In the town gossip.
Yes. All of that. All of that.
Oh, Mama Tony is saying Danielle still puts out 2 books a year. Okay.
2?
Go ahead,
Thinking
Danielle.
those books are okay.
Go ahead,
man,
then. She's an inspiration to me.
That's a lot.
This is I haven't written. The funny thing is, before this book and before, I think my other book is actually on this little shelf behind me. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go.
Okay. And I love that you actually have books on your actual bookshelf. I love it.
Okay, well, actually, I am in a book room at a location.
Okay.
And but I like this place. So this is one of my writing. What I'm writing.
Oh, really?
holes.
Okay.
Wow.
But
okay.
So both of these. What is
Okay.
the first one?
And
Was
that's the one we were talking about. Okay. Yeah.
And then You Can't Hurry, Second Chances.
Yeah.
Now I forgot what I was gonna say, but I don't went through all of that. What are we talking about?
Your 3 book recs. And you
Oh, child, I was gonna say something. This is real live in action. I forgot what I was gonna say about books, but I was gonna say something.
I do the same
You
thing.
should keep reading them. So my book recs. Is that what you want to know?
Yeah.
I was gonna. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. It came back. Thank you, Lord. What I was gonna say was before I wrote these 2 books, my last set of books before that was novellas. So they're
really? Okay.
shorter.
Okay.
So when you talk about Danielle Steele's books being so thick, I'm like 2 books a year, child. That is a lot. But probably from 2012 to I don't know what year it was, but I have a Mama B series. There's 10 books in that series, and they're all about 150 pages long because people's appetites around how much they want to read, not necessarily the people who've been with me since the beginning,
Right.
but as an educator, I also know that people are not necessarily reading books in high school
Like they used to,
anymore.
yeah.
So definitely people's appetite for long books overall is not the same as it used to be.
I still make sure I always read long books because if you stop, it's harder. Because I was looking at what's her name? Nicole Hannah Jones. And she was saying that too, that our attention spans are not are shorter now, and people don't like to read long books anymore. So I make sure to always at least 1 book a month I'm reading that's like over 400 pages.
Yeah. Well, the same thing can be true for you as an author. Once I really got me to writing short books and made me almost spoiled about it was writing a screenplay for a movie. That's
Okay.
120 pages. It's just dialogue, which is what I love,
Mm.
for the most part. After that, I was like, I ain't writing no whole book.
Right
This
after
too
doing that
long.
again, right?
Wow, this is long.
Yep.
But
Yep.
yeah, these last two have been a doozy. Like to push out two full length books,
Mm-hmm.
and which I haven't done in years and years and years. So my
Right.
first book came out, and they wanted 100,000 words from the author, from
Wow.
the publisher, and now they're saying 50,000 words,
At
80,000
least.
words
Yeah.
is enough
Oh,
for
wow.
what
Oh,
they're
really?
looking
Okay.
for. So yeah, I'm interested about that. Interested in seeing how, just what's happening with technology changes all that. Okay,
Right.
my book Rex, I'm ready.
Okay.
Um, I really liked Take My Hand
Hmm.
by Dolan Perkins Valdez. That is, it's almost historical, and it is about two sisters who were basically sterilized by the state, kind of in a whole thing of like, let's stop the Black population from growing,
Oh my
basically.
goodness.
And so that one was I saw like historical stuff too, and I want to write historical, but I'm just too lazy. So I just let other people do it. So that's one of them. I just read The Seven Daughters of Dupree. Seven Daughters of Dupree is
Yes, I have that. I haven't
oh,
started it
okay.
yet.
That
Yeah.
is her debut novel, and I was waiting for that because anytime you got women and stories and family
Right.
secrets and sagas, like I love the complexity of women's relationships.
I do too.
And so that one, I was waiting on that one. I really enjoyed that one. I hope you will too. Um, like I said, I like historical, so I like The American Queen by Vanessa Miller, and
Mm-hmm.
that
I
is
still have to read that one. I still have to read
okay.
that one.
Okay. I am Shavana. I tried to write. So Shavana says I'm not late. Yes, I met who wrote Cane River to Lolita
Oh,
Turner.
me and Katina
Oh,
love that book.
oh, yes, yes.
Yes. So I was at this
Woo!
conference and I met her and I was like,
Oh,
I
really?
love your
Okay.
book. I was so happy and I want to write historical fiction, but I don't want to research. She was like, don't do that. She was like, stop. You don't need to do this.
Right, right.
Do it. Don't do
You
it.
know what? I'm gonna have to ask her on the show because that is one of our favorite books.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
That needs to be on my list too. But I'm just
Mm.
saying, she was just like, no, ma'am, you will not be writing historical. And you don't do no research.
Don't
So
quit that job.
And we
she
just
said,
had, who did I just have on? I just had oh man, I can't think. But she said she had been researching for like 2 years before she started actually like sitting down
Yeah.
to write the book. I can't remember who it was. Was it Victoria Katina? I can't remember who it was. Christopher
I think it
Murray? I can't
was.
remember.
I think it
Somebody.
was.
well, I do have one that is going to be historical. And I actually had somebody else do my research. There's a big whole binder that she made for me. So I can write that. But that one, I don't want to say who it is because I don't want anybody to write my book.
Right,
But
right.
they've already she's got a couple of little ones, but there's more to the story than what I've seen out there. But the thing about that particular book is the person I'm writing about was so pro-Black
Mm-hmm.
until I don't, just the spirit of that book is independently published. Because
Okay.
I don't think she would want other hands in it.
Mm-hmm.
Her story in other hands.
Right.
So yeah, that's on my heart. Okay, but American Queen by Vanessa Miller.
Okay.
And then probably my all-time favorite book, which is so funny because every time I tell people this, they be like, "Girl, did you know that was in the book?" I'll be like, "Oh, I forgot about that part." But yes, and is In Search of Satisfaction by the late J.
J.
California Cooper.
California Cooper. Yeah.
I was just telling somebody, but remember I mentioned her name. I think Shavana was on with me when I did, but I couldn't think of the name of her book. So what's the
Yeah.
book of that? What's the name of that one?
In Search of Satisfaction.
Okay. I don't think
That
I
book
read this one.
brought me back to I don't know where I was, but I came back somehow.
Now her books are usually kind of heavy though, right? Heavy topics.
They
They
are.
are.
They are.
It is very, very heavy. And here's the thing, like I probably wouldn't read it at this very moment. I'm in a season right now where I have decided the year of 2026 is going to be, well, except there's been a couple of exceptions. But I am doing Black Joy this year. I'm not doing Black Pain this year. Not just because, I mean, I know our story is hard.
Mm-hmm.
It is a hard story and it needs to be told. But
Right.
this year, I have decided that this is going to be my intentional year of Black Joy.
I know that's right. Because we need it right now. It's like it's
Yes,
so
I
much
definitely
going
need it.
on. Yes. Yes. We
Yes,
need
Tony
it.
said it was one damn good book, Michelle. And I was I ain't never heard you say no cuss word at all. So
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
Francis was saying that was
it
a
was.
good book, and oh,
Yeah.
it was Vanessa, right? Yeah, it probably was Vanessa who said that about the 2 year writing. Thank you, Shabana.
Okay, yeah.
Probably.
And then oh, they talking to each other. I'm like, I missed a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, she was
Wait
saying
a minute, wait a
Rashonda.
minute. Shabana talking about Michelle. She talking about I love 800-page books.
Look, I get scared
Tell
when
the
a
truth
book
and
is that.
shame the
That's
devil.
why you know what? I never read The Help. I didn't read The Help because it was too big.
I think I have the help here
You
somewhere.
got
It's
The
in one of
Help.
these
Yeah.
boxes, but and I did read it years ago.
If
Them
But
it's
girls
too
a
long,
movie.
I'll listen to it, but I ain't gonna read that.
the longest book I've read, I think it's Outlander. One of the Outlander books. I think it was like
Okay, that genre is that one of the
historical
utopian.
romance,
Okay, yeah.
historical
See,
romance, time travel type.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
see, I would
Yeah.
expect that in that genre,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
that was like a 900 page,
Yeah.
but you have to use it or you're gonna lose it, Shavana. What you talking about? Just like with the reading, with reading and listening, I have to make sure that I'm always reading, like physically reading, or you will start because some
What?
Vanessa, not Vanessa, Karen Hunter said that she had got busy last year and was
mhm.
listening and hadn't been reading. So when she
Yeah.
sat down to actually read this year, she couldn't do it. She could her attention and she couldn't
Yeah.
like
Mm.
so she had to retrain her brain to actually sit down and read again. But
Wow, I believe
yeah.
that. But you
Mhm.
know what? When I
Also,
read
yeah.
a physical book, it
Hmm.
inspires me to write. Audiobooks don't do that for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
But
can
when
see
I
that.
sit down and read it, and I mark up all my books,
Yes.
like I
Yeah.
write in them, I jot down little phrases that I like, and I
Hmm.
turn them
Highlight.
around, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
flip them and put them in my book in some other kind of way. But
Hmm.
I noticed that about myself when I am reading a physical book. Then I'm like, I need to go write some word. I'm gonna go write. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Same here. Hey Lisa, thank you for joining us. That's
Uh,
my
Hey,
sister.
Lisa. Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Mama Tony said the help was a waste of paper.
Ah. I just knew it was too much reading for me. I wasn't gonna be able to do it. I think I'm intimidated by
Made
big
me
books.
sweat.
Yeah. JB said with Love from Harlem too took 3 years of research. It might have
Yeah.
been Vanessa
Okay.
Yeah, she
Victoria.
did.
Okay. I know it was one
Okay.
of them. But
Wow.
That was worth it though.
yeah, most
Well, I
definitely.
just
Okay.
happened to run into there's a lady at my library, my local library. She's a genealogist. And so I would be in there working and I would overhear her telling people, this is what I found out about your mother and your father and your great 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 grandmother and all that kind of stuff. And I just started talking to her and I'm telling her about this character that I wanted to write. And she's, a real person. And she just went to work on it. So
Okay.
I'm just going to fictionalize what she gave me because I have not been doing all
Okay.
that research.
I love that. And before we get into the characters in the story, when you were talking about how you used to write in your diary when you were younger, I grew up
Mhm.
writing in the diary too. My mother got me doing it because she always had a diary. And I
Mm.
used to journal, and I know you love journaling. Do you
Oh,
still
yes.
journal?
Oh, yes. On a
Okay, yeah.
regular basis, almost every day. I got one right here
So I need to get back into it because I haven't done it
every
in a while.
all the
Yeah.
time.
Okay, okay. I'm still gonna have to get with you when I do my next event so we can
Okay.
for
Thank you.
that.
I would love to. It is probably I've done journaling and people have not done it in so long.
Right.
They be in there crying and all kind of stuff. And I just be like, I'm sorry.
I
I didn't
love
know that was gonna
it.
happen to you.
Right,
But
that all the
I had
stuff
a
will
lady
start
say
coming
one
out.
time, yeah. One lady was like, oh, this I did all this in 50. She said to me, all the anxiety that was in her, she put it on the paper. And she had not
Mhm.
felt that light in so long.
I
Right.
So
love that.
yeah.
And remember the little diaries that used to have the lock and the
Little
key?
lock
I
on.
used to have my
Yes.
little yeah.
Okay, but look, my brother, I found out later on, my brother read my diaries.
Oh no! See, that's why you need that that
A lock
key and
on.
that
Yeah, he
lock.
said
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, I used to be at home on a Friday night and I didn't have nothing to do.
Say just reading through your.
And you wouldn't be there. And I would just go in there and just start reading. I'm like, really? You should have took that to the grave with you.
Right.
But that was the last
man.
time I got in trouble with my mother. She read my diary. She didn't like what she read. And that was the last
that
time
happened
I
to
got
me
in
too.
trouble.
My aunt
Your
read
mother read
mine.
your diary?
My aunt did, and I was so like, because I had all kind of crap in there, all kind of stuff that I probably didn't have no business putting in there.
Right.
About this little boy that I liked and all this stuff.
Yes.
Oh, my
Well,
goodness.
my mother read the diary, and then she was taking me to school the next day. Me and my friend went in the car. She was taking me to school, and she was fussing at me about, something that she read.
Right.
And I fixed my lips. I don't know how I thought I was going to say this, to say,
Oh, you did.
well, if you would not have read
Oh
diary,
no.
No, you didn't.
The sentence didn't even get out my. She was
I
driving
bet.
the car. She hit me with that hand, and then she kept on driving.
They were good for
multitasking.
That was the last time I got popped by my mama.
Oh my gosh. And Mama Tony said her brother read hers too and told her.
And
her
told
mother.
her, now you can't be
my
telling
goodness.
the mama now. You done went too far.
Right. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to get into the book and the characters, and there's the name of the book on the screen, you all. And there's the copy. I love that cover too.
Beautiful.
Thank you. It's ready for the spring.
Yes. Okay, so can you tell those who haven't read the story yet about Joyce and who she is as a character as far as her personality, her backstory?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Joyce is newly divorced and newly retired and a new resident, kind of returning. Well, she was never a resident there, of Robin Creek, Texas. So we got a small town.
Right.
A mature woman who is finding herself again in this new community after having divorced her husband of 30 years. So she is going through a silver divorce, is what they call it. And she had a house. So her father has this house that she was, going to just renovate and actually turn it into a duplex so that she could live on one side and rent out the other side. But she had ran out of money. So, I mean, if you know anything about renovating an old house, anything could happen.
Right.
Anything could happen. It could be a whole other family in the basement. You wouldn't even know. They've been there for 20 years, right? Thank you, Mama Tony.
And you see that on HGTV where as soon as they open up a wall, you got all kinds of problems.
Right. That you just didn't know that was going to happen. Right. So she ends up having to she didn't get to finish it and having to share a kitchen with her new tenant, who is a younger woman, Afro-Latina woman who loves to cook. And so
there's her, Gabriella.
Yes, Gabriella. There's a lot of food. There's a lot of small town conversation and just women pouring into one another across generations. And then there's also a little boy, her grandson, who she wasn't planning on him being there. But, just around the divorce and all the family drama, the little boy Elijah ends up coming to stay with his grandmother for the summer. So it's a story of found family. You love Elijah?
I love him. I love them. And I love kids in books, especially when they're written, with personalities and stuff. And his really came through. I was like,
oh, thank you.
He was touching my heart.
Thank you.
Yes.
I love a cross-generational story too. I've always been the kind of person, well, now I'm not the baby in the room anymore, but I've always been the kind of person who loved to sit at the feet of the elders and just hear the stories. I have one great aunt left who I've been meaning to ask her how my great grandparents met because nobody can tell me. So I love sitting at the feet of the elders. And so she that's kind of where Joyce finds herself with Gabriella from the very beginning of the book. They both are like, she's like, why are you so late getting here? I mean, is it a time limit? Right.
But I thought that was interesting too. And I love too the aspect of the age gap and how how we're set as far as how we grew up and you respect your elders and you say miss. Because I was like that with my stepdaughters when they were growing up, and one of the little friends that started calling me by my first name. I'm like, I wasn't raised like that. You don't call me by my first name.
Yeah, that ain't what we do.
But then when it happened with Joyce, because at first when Gabriella was just calling her Joyce instead of, she changed over the
Miss
book.
Joyce.
But but Joyce had her she was set in her ways as far as how she was raised,
Yeah.
and I just loved her when she was talking her inner thoughts when she was talking about her mother would have had a fit if she heard so and so and so and so. So I love the little things like that with
Mm,
the generational stuff.
thank you. Thank you
Yep,
so
love
much.
love that because I think it was when she came home and Gabriella was on the porch drinking, and it was during the day, and she was drinking a glass of wine, and she was like,
She was, this ain't
drinking
what you
wine
need to go
before 6 o'clock.
inside. Yes, you don't do this outside in front of your
But you
neighbors
know what?
and
I
all
could
of that.
relate though, because I would probably be the same way, like daytime drinking.
Right. This you out there. But even at the very beginning, then I'm not giving away a huge spoiler, but when she comes and she's late, she wasn't late. She just said, I'll be there today.
Right. And
And
she
my
didn't even
own
know her yet. And she was already like
right. But my daughter and I have these same conversations. So my daughter is 30 and my granddaughter is 9. So
okay.
we got these 3 generations, right?
Right.
I grew up where you had to know what time somebody's going to come pick you up because you need to be out there at that
Right.
time.
Right.
Like you go to
right.
I grew up near Six Flags. If your mama say we're going to be here, I'm going to pick you up at 9 o'clock by the second light post.
Mm-hmm.
At 8:30, you need to start looking around. I can't ride that. That's going to be too long. Or you need to start making your way to the
To
front
that
so
spot.
that you can be there. Because if you're not there, we're going to have a problem.
Right.
And but now my daughter is just like, I'm like, well, what time you gonna come pick her up? I'll let you know.
Yep.
Like, I mean, should I give her a bath now? Or like, I don't know what is the plan. And my daughter's like,
right.
you don't need a plan. Like, we're just gonna figure it out. No, like I need to know these things. Am I going to McDonald's and getting her food or like? I don't. She's just my daughter's like, Mom, you're so uptight. Like that is not something to know ahead of time.
But you know what? Another thing I was telling Katina before we came on, um, the reading your book reminded me of some of my favorite like movies that had the same theme as far as the woman starting over after being.
Mm-hmm.
In some of them though, they were like housewives, so it was like doubly
Yeah.
Right.
with the finances
Right.
and stuff like that. But one of them was I don't know if you've watched this one, An Unmarried Woman
I have
with
not.
Jill Claiborne, and it was
Oh, okay.
in 1978. It came out. Very very good. And then another one was
Mm,
Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore with Ellen Burstyn,
okay.
and I think
Okay.
that was from the 70s too. Both of them very well done. But one
Yeah.
of them is a fun one that I watched
Okay.
on Hallmark, and I've watched it many times with what's her name, Wendy Malick. After all these years, and
Mm,
this one, her husband ends up dumping her for his assistant, and
mm.
tells her the night of their anniversary party.
Typical.
Oh, wow. So this is a movie
Yep, on Hallmark,
after all these years.
but it's also
Okay.
on Plex and Plex, which is free
Okay.
in Zumo.
Okay.
But it came out in 2013. But it's a fun little comedy. But it was also a mystery because she's been accused of killing her husband, her
Mm.
strange husband.
Wow.
But yeah, so
Wow.
it reminded me of some of the movies that I liked around that same subject.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know,
Well, a
Yeah.
lot of some of the research that I did a little bit of research. I mean, not a lot. I don't be doing no historical fiction research. But I want to say it's like 60% now of all divorces are initiated by women.
Okay.
Particularly over, I think, the age of 50 or so.
oh wow.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like that. Having
You know,
alternative
another one of those movies was the Tyler Perry one, I believe. Um
Which
uh
one?
the one where he threw her out the mansion and but I forget
Not the
that
one that was abusing her, was it? Is that it's not that one, is it?
he wasn't abusing her. I think it was
Okay.
at least Neil that started it and
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Is that Diary of a Mad Black Woman?
Shamar Moore, yeah. Shamar Moore was
Okay.
that one. It's kind of like a starting over thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. She definitely was starting over. And I think,
Yeah.
even if you're not, divorced or whatever, they're starting over in the different seasons of life. They're starting over going
Right.
from a mother to a grandmother to now I'm not telling you what to do, but I am advising you as you ask me, as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to me just throwing my advice on you. Like all of that is starting. And life is just, you think about just life period in nature. the leaves fall off every year and come back and start over every
Right.
single year.
Right.
So when we take a look at that, we know that we are meant to keep growing and changing.
Mhm.
And, maybe you needed more water in the different season than you do now.
Mhm.
You just planted in different soil. So I think we got to be looking at that to give us ideas about life.
I love that. But what I admire too is because I liked how you explored, how the role that she had in the family and
Hmm.
how it didn't really serve her, it served everybody else. So everybody else thought everything was perfect.
Right.
Right.
Right. And I
Yeah.
I think that's cultural. Well, I don't know if it's cultural so much as it is generational. I think in the
Mm-hmm.
history of mankind, women have
Mm-hmm.
always done a lot of the emotional labor, a lot of the child raising and rearing, like all of that for reasons various and sundry,
Mhm.
have it has fallen on women's shoulders.
Right.
Yes.
And I think we're at this generation. I think previous generations or the one before me was we just really wanted you all to appreciate men to appreciate what we did. But I
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
think we're beyond that now. We're not just saying I want you to appreciate, we're saying I want you to reciprocate.
Right.
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 And
Right.
that's a
Right.
different thing. And I don't think that men, and this is a very generalized statement, but I don't think that men are conditioned, socially conditioned to be able to do that unless they've done some work
Mm-hmm.
and to
Mm-hmm.
learn the skills that society is saying that if you do that, that's going to make you less manly or whatever that is.
Mhm.
So it's definitely something that I think we're at a crossroads when we think about. I just watched the podcast the other day, and it was about people who have gone no contact with their family.
Oh yeah, and that was a big thing because I think Oprah did one too
Yeah,
recently.
that's the one I was looking
Yeah.
at.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that people, I definitely when someone's toxic and abusive, that needs to be no contact, but I just didn't realize that people, the state of relationships now, period, is at a point where we've got to be able to have conversations and show up for one another, or
Mhm.
else we're all going to be going no contact.
Right.
True.
Yes. Thank you, Donna. This is my aunt. She said she liked my hair.
Oh,
Hey, Auntie
yay. Fancy.
Donna. It
But
is cute.
what I love too? I like the dynamic between mother and daughter because I love it.
Yes.
She was a daddy's girl, so
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
she was so used to her mother like being there for everybody except besides
Yes.
herself. And so
Yes.
she had
I
a whole
feel her.
attitude
Fresh
when
out the mouth. What we
right,
call it.
Right.
right,
I'm
had a
I'm
whole
telling
attitude
you.
after her mother left.
Right. I'm telling you, my daughter was in college and I had frozen shoulder syndrome. Frozen, yeah, something where you can't move your arm.
Okay.
So she had something going on down there at the schoolhouse. And she was like, "Are you coming?" I was like, "I don't know. I have physical therapy. Like, I don't know." So then I didn't go. And then she come, "Where were you?" I was like, "I told you I had physical therapy. My shoulder was hurt." She's like, "But you didn't come because I was not
Right,
well."
right.
Right.
She was just like, "But you never get sick. I don't understand." I was just like, "Oh wow, you don't think I'm a human being. You clearly
Hmm.
don't think I'm a human being." Like, if I've been in physical therapy is like the closest thing to like legalized torture. So if I had been in physical therapy, I'm not going to be
Mhm.
driving an hour and a half with my shoulder on a pillow to come. Like, but she expected me. She just was like, "You cannot be ill."
Right, because that. But I was the same way. I have to admit, I was
Yeah.
because you think of your parents as like superhuman and they can take care of everything
Yeah.
and take them up for granted a little bit. I think
Mhm.
once you get older, you start realizing that.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I was terrible. I was
You
spoiled
would have
and
thought your mama should put a pillow under her arm and
yep,
drive all the way
yep.
to your college.
Jump right over you
All the way.
doing.
Smile on
Put
your
your
face.
hands on
Right,
your
right,
shoulder. You
right,
ain't even got no shoulder. You want me to drive?
right, right.
I don't think I realized until that moment that she thought I was Superwoman.
Hmm.
She did.
Yep,
She did.
yep.
Hmm.
Katina, what were some standouts for you in the book?
That relationship definitely was
Yeah.
something that was a standout for me. But what I really loved was almost like the things that we consider nostalgic now, and the
Mm.
fact that Elijah played outside.
Yes.
For me.
in
I
the
thought that
country.
too, how easy it was
Listen.
for him to go outside. And then
Yes.
remember, they went to the park
Yes.
for a minute while he was
Yes.
outside. I'm like, wait a minute, you couldn't do that now, really? But
Yes, he was on his bicycle. Was he on a bicycle or he
On
was
a
in somebody's
bicycle,
pocket?
on
yes.
his neighbor's bike, yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you could get in there. You could
Let's
pump
go play.
somebody on the bike, and y'all can still get there on the little thing on the
Mm-hmm.
back.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, those were good times.
That
Mm-hmm.
was so. I
That's
said I
so
love
true, though.
that.
That was a good aspect that he was able
So
to
love that.
freely be outside. But then too, we have to remember that I guess it was a small town. It's not like
Oh
they were in a
Yeah,
big city.
everybody's gonna know everybody in a small
Yeah,
town. Yeah,
yeah.
you can't because they know who car that is. You know your neighbor. You know your neighbor's dog's name.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
Blue is out again. Call so and so Blue
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like you
Right.
know these
Yeah.
things in a small town.
And even though I grew up in Detroit, but even back then when I was growing up, you knew your neighbors, so
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
they were looking and watching, and you get
Mm-hmm.
out of line, they telling on you and all of that, where
Yeah,
they'll say something
yeah,
to you. It's changed, of course, now where you barely speak to your neighbors, but unless you just happen to live somewhere that you've been for like eons. But yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I think that's why I like the small town feel that we get
yeah.
in the books too.
I do too. I
Hmm.
like to write things that will make you feel like, okay, I can escape. I can relax. I'm not going to get stressed out reading this because that's how I am as a reader. I don't read a whole lot that weighs me down. I don't watch movie. I don't even watch rated R movies because I just be like, I'm not trying to see nobody get killed today.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's just me. I'm not
Me
saying other
too.
people need to do what I do, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm really conscious about what I allow into my eye gate, my ear gate, all those different things because I know that I'm an impressionable person
Yeah.
Right.
and that's just me. So when I know that about myself, I was telling somebody at my job the other day, like I never smoked weed because I already know I have an addictive personality.
Hmm.
If I start smoking weed, I'm gonna be on something else. That's gonna be a gateway drug for me. So
Hmm.
like I know this about myself.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, I have, been able to just not go there because I already know. If a new chocolate come out, I'm gonna eat it until I can't even. I'm gonna get
Right,
sick.
right,
So
right,
imagine
right.
me in drugs if I can't even act right with chocolate.
Well, that's good that you are self aware and you know,
Right. I
right?
know me. Right. I already know me.
Oh, that's
Oh
awesome.
man. But we have to talk about the food in the story
I
because
have to.
mm, that by itself was like a
Mm.
character. My mouth was watering. I'm like, oh
Yes.
my gosh, you really cannot eat it. And, watch it and read it, and you haven't eaten anything because you'll be like,
Yes.
But I love Gabriella and how she put so much time and effort and love into her dishes. That was
Mm-hmm.
one of my
Mm-hmm.
favorite things too, and that reminded me of one of my favorite movies, like Water for Chocolate, which is similar.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I
As
think I
you see,
read
I
that one.
love books and movies and music.
Yeah. I see. I see. So the funny thing about this whole thing is so there's a lot of seasoning and food in Sisters with a Side of Greens.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so that's kind of the brand that particular publisher and I were talking through, like what is it that we want to be consistent around my books. And one of them is the cross-generational connections.
Hmm.
Another one is food. So I'm not that big of a cook, honestly. I'm not really a cook,
And
but
that's what
so
I was
I
about
do
to
have to
ask you. Are
research.
you?
Right.
I'm getting better. Since I became a grandma, I am better because I just feel like if you're gonna be a grandma, you're gonna have to be able to do something.
Right.
Like you got to be able to say, "My girl,
Yeah.
like grandma make pancake." You got to have a breakfast dish or something. You
Oh
can't be at
man.
McDonald's all the time. So I am getting better.
And that's
But
something that you can
yeah,
do together with is it a
yes,
granddaughter, grandson,
is a granddaughter. We have
Yes.
decided that we are either going to make the best cakes or the best iced sugar cookies because we have been to some events um where we just needed to make sure we brought a good dish. I'm just
Hmm.
gonna leave it at
Hmm.
that. And so we're gonna be the ones. If we don't have nothing else good there, we're gonna have
Right.
a good dessert.
I love it, love it, love it. Okay, before we go, because we're at time, but we have to
Yes.
talk about because this gave me palpitations. I'm like the
Yes.
thing with the APS and stuff. I'm like,
Yes.
Hula.
Slap is for real though.
oh, for real? Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying that organization's for, but the idea
Right.
around someone making a phone call, someone suspecting that something could be going on,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden you're under
Your
investigation.
life is just Turned upside down.
for, for all of so it's, and I don't think she realized at that age that you're getting legally, you're getting to a point where people are going to start looking at you differently and classifying you differently and saying,
Right.
okay, she's elderly. Is there abuse going on here? That type of a thing. But I mean, as you age and you grow, people do treat you differently. People
Yeah.
are going to call you yes, ma'am. Things are going to start happening where you go,
Yeah.
okay, I can see that how I'm seen in the public is not the same
Right.
as it was 10 years ago, 15
Right.
years ago. So, her whole situation with Slap. There's another book called Margot. I think it's Margot is going broke or Margot has no money. I can't think of what it is, but she almost lost her child because someone suspected, not for bad cause, but just felt like maybe the child wasn't being watched well enough to their extent of what they think a parent should
Right.
be
Right.
doing.
Right.
And so, having contact and then having to prove yourself worthy.
Yes.
Like who I don't have proof because I'm just living my life,
Right.
Right. Right.
Now all of a sudden her money shortfall, which wasn't a big deal at first,
But
Wasn't.
is
now it
now a big
is.
deal. So, I'm just like, hmm, it's interesting the run-ins that we can inadvertently find ourselves in with the law.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that really threw me for a loop. And then especially her daughter calling the ex-husband. I'm like, what in the world is going
What
on?
is he doing here?
Don't call your mother to see what's going on because
Right.
What's wrong with the child? But that's, you
oh
know what?
man,
That's the
I was
drama.
really like side-eyeing her for most of the book.
So,
The
yes.
daughter. Well, yeah, because the little boy wasn't even supposed to be there at the beginning.
Right.
But
Right.
she just
No.
kind of played that thing. Did y'all see? And this is what came up for me as I was writing it. The way that she was acting like her husband couldn't help with the little boy.
Mm,
It's like the
Yep.
same thing that she saw her mother do. She's
right.
now doing in her own
Right. And
marriage.
she started realizing that.
Yes.
But
Mm-hmm.
another point in moment was in the car with Elijah when
Yes.
he was telling her about how it was when he said it's different since you're not there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she
Right.
realized
Right.
that she had been a buffer
She
that
Between him
entire
and his
time.
grandfather.
Right.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, I did. I mean, the father, he was a little bit more, he was borderline abusive. I mean, I wouldn't say abusive, but he was not the nicest
It was
guy.
emotional abuse. I was talking, me and Katina was talking about that.
Yeah, I say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, he was
because
not
even
nice.
when he was like raising his voice but not raising his voice, he was
Right.
doing it just enough.
Right, to intimidate her.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is a problem. I do think that this is
Or playing the loud music when she was
right.
speaking about the
This is a
loud,
part
yeah.
of, yeah. I think, Joyce grew up in that time, in that era where,
Mm-hmm.
whatever daddy said is what it was, and everybody
Hmm.
better shut up.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that some of us are still there, and if it
Right.
works for y'all, that's what y'all want to do, that's totally fine. But I do think that that caused a lot of problems with her. I'm
Hmm.
glad that she finally can. I think she's at the point where she is. She's not at, even by the end of the book, she's not at the point where she can look back and say, I know I did the right thing 100%. But
Yeah.
she needs about 3 or 4 years, and she'll be able to look back and go, yeah, that was the right move.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
do like that she started getting to where she was, and Gabriella and Elijah were instrumental in some of the things that made her start
Yeah.
questioning,
Did. Yeah.
which I loved.
Mm-hmm.
And when her and Gabriella had to talk about her friend, if you want friends, you
Yes.
actually have to like
You gotta be a
change your
friend. You gotta
adjust
like
your attitude and
Love
judgments
that.
and all of
yeah,
that.
right.
Because I think
You
she
gonna
said something like, people don't want to be around you 24 hours a day.
Right,
So
right, right.
get over
So
yourself.
you they ain't
right.
with
Ain't
that
nobody trying to
either,
be
right?
like that. We finna do all that with you.
Right. And I think she saw it too when she was left out of the group text. And they
Mm-hmm.
said,
Right.
well, we didn't think you
Right.
wanted to be bothered.
Right. You
Right.
you can't be saying I want to be around y'all, but then be like, never mind.
Right.
Right.
I just want to be
Right.
invited. I don't really actually want to go.
Right. Oh man. But you
Yeah.
did such an awesome job. This was such a
Thank
great
you.
read for me. So
Mhm.
layered, and I just loved all the interactions between her and her found family and friends. And we have to talk about Richard before you go.
Okay, so there's a little hint of a romance in
Mm-hmm.
the book.
Yes.
But the problem with Richard, bless his heart, is he would have to come into 2026 in order to be in a relationship with Joyce.
Mhm.
And I don't
Right.
even really, Joyce ain't really thinking about him like that. But I do think he has potential.
He has potential because some
But
of the things he was
yeah.
saying, I'm like, when he was talking about his wife, talking about she was his. Did she? I think he even used the word house. Didn't he say housekeeper or something like that?
He said something that was like, boy, no, I'm not
Like
playing with
what?
you.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's using them old lines and all that kind of stuff. So, you have to do your work if you plan to be with somebody else who has also come out of
Right. She knows what
1965.
she does not want to go back into. And I
Yeah.
love that she was open with him because she could see that he still, even though she told him in the beginning, I'm not ready for a relationship, he still was, she could tell he still was
Yeah, he's still trying to
leaning
go
towards
there.
that. Yeah. So I like that she was upfront. She kept
Mhm.
reiterating, like,
Right.
but she wanted what she didn't want.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And I
Yeah.
appreciate this opportunity. This has been super cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed your time on the show. Do
I
you have
did.
anything? Well, I know this just came out, so but you have anything you're working on or anything that you can talk about?
No, I am taking a little hiatus a bit. I've been
Okay.
looking at what it means to maybe visit Mama B again. I got my historical book that I hope to work on. This is the second book of my 2-book deal with not serious source books. So it may be a little bit before I have something coming out, but
Okay.
I always have the words turning and the characters in my head.
Love it. Love it. I'll be on the lookout. I'm gonna have to look, like I said, I'm gonna have to go back through your calendar. I know Shavana has told me to read, and you said the other one that she told me about, Mama Bees, I think you
Mama
said.
B, there's
Yeah,
10
that's
books
the
in
one.
that series.
Yeah, she told me about that one too. So I have to go back and check that out as well. And then
All
maybe we can
right
have you
then.
back on the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Thank you
All
again for
right.
this opportunity.
Thank
Y'all have a
you.
good one.
All
Bye,
right, you too.
everybody.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
All right, we're going to get into our second segment where we give our highlight of the week. And I had a difficult time choosing between two books this week. Sometimes I can't, it's hard for me to even think of something as many books as I've read. I'm like, how can I not think of? But then sometimes I'm like, I'm thinking about several and I'm trying to think which one do I want to highlight. So this time I was going back and forth between two. And I think I'm going to go with one author that I haven't done before.
Okay.
So let me see. Actually, you want to do yours first? Let me, because I'm still thinking on which one I want to.
You might end up doing both of them anyway. But go ahead. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Let me see.
I'll go first.
I'm still thinking. Still
I'll
thinking.
go first.
Let me see. Let me pull it up.
Bring it up. Bring it up. I just heat on it here.
Oh, let me turn this off first.
Oh. This one I just read,
Oh, did you? Okay.
which I'm glad I did. Um, and I still got to get into. It's 3 books in this series, but I just said, I've been sitting in my I just kind of did a random, and I just a meeny, miny, mo. I picked it. And I said, I'm gonna try it. And I think I saw some reviews on it. Somebody was on TikTok talking about it. So I said,
Okay.
you know what? I'm gonna just, and actually it was the 3rd book they were talking about. So the way I roll is I can't start at book 3. I got to book 1. So I said, let's start with book 1. So this is I'm Fine, Thanks, by Jaquel J, one of our favorite
Oh,
authors.
do you know I did not notice that when you sent it to me? I just looked at the title. I
Yes.
didn't look at the who it's by.
This is not a long one. Well, it's not. It's about 328 pages.
Okay.
But it's a lot going on, so you just kind of get into it. You never really notice. This was published in, I think, October 23, so it hasn't been out that for too long. And I think it's part of the Lenox Hill series.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there are 3 at this moment. But the overview was I wasn't supposed to take on any new clients. All my current couples were already a handful. A marriage therapist with a failing marriage. If only they knew. That is until Cami Lynn walked into my office without her husband. I only treated couples. I was supposed to help save her marriage. Instead, I was the main reason for its destruction. I did everything the way I was supposed to. I graduated college, went straight into my career, got married, and had a few crotch goblins, and even accepted an outside baby for that man. I'm gonna repeat, and even accepted an outside baby for that man. Then why am I sitting on my couch with a bottle of wine, bills scattered all over the coffee table, and divorce papers that I have been prolonging on giving my husband? So now I don't need any help. I'm fine. Thanks. So, yes.
So you said this is part of a series?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to get into 2 and 3, but this definitely it's like it reads. This is she's a couples therapist, and her marriage is in shambles. Her husband is next level trash, and they have kids together, and it says she accepted an outside child,
Mm-hmm.
from one of his tryst. And
It
it just,
doesn't seem like it's something that I would like.
I think so.
You think?
There
Okay,
is,
because
because it's, I don't know. We don't love cheating. Okay. But listen, sometimes,
is some growth in it or something?
oh yes, that's growth.
Okay.
That's growth. But she meets a guy, things happen. They both end up finding what they need
Okay.
from each other, and dealing with their own separate issues and their own relationships, and finding themselves, being able to come together eventually. It's heartfelt. It's a lot of angst in it. You do a lot of, you probably want to find her
So I'm
husband
not going to
and
read
do
it
some
anytime
things,
soon if it's a lot
but
of things.
a lot a lot of times, he's not your favorite person in the, no, not at all.
Mhm.
And the thing is that everybody else knows it, even she knows it, but she just never pulled the trigger.
Yeah,
um
it takes a while sometimes.
yeah, so but it's really good. I was in it, and I was rooting for both these main characters, to just figure it out and just get there, and it was fun. It was fun to read. I like all the angst and stuff. It keeps me interested. It keeps me turning the pages.
I like it sometimes. I think I'm like the last like 3 or 4 books have been super angsty, and I'm like over it for a minute. So I'm glad that some of the ones that we read just tonight is more of
Oh,
a
this
feel
was,
good, and even though some of her family got on my nerves,
I know.
um, but yeah, and like I said, the next couple of I think we're getting back into historical fiction too, so that might, but
We are.
because the last ones I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? It's
And I think, which one you have coming up?
uh,
Started reading. Um,
which
I think Quarter
well,
Queen
we
was
rescheduled the one on the 18th.
right.
That was gonna be Tiffany L. Warren.
Yes.
But it's good. It actually worked out because I have a appointment that day, so that worked out. But
Okay. Good. Good. Good.
so it
Okay.
ended up working out. But after that, remember we going to Louisiana, the New Orleans for the Quarter Queen.
I started that one.
Did you start? I started it too, but I had put it down because I didn't want it to be because I had started it like 2 months ago, so I didn't want to be too far
Back to
off
the
and then I
drama.
forget. Yeah, so I'm like maybe when I stopped, I think I was at like 30% or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
after that, we going into Fairy Tale with Angela Seals,
Yes.
with Eric's Tale. So nothing too heavy on the horizon. Then it's gonna be Taisha Willis, my stepdaughter, her book on the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going into Leslie Penelope.
Yes.
And you know how we love her historical romance.
Yes. Yes.
Is it romance or is it fiction? Hers is more. No, it was romance. The last one. I don't know what this one is. I have to look. But
Yeah. What is this one? Mm-hmm.
and then we're going back to Yasmin
Angle.
They look like it's gonna be you, Katina, all of June.
That gonna be
Wait a minute.
me.
Oh no, it's no. Shavana is the first, so we that one is a thriller. That's Murder by the Book. So, but I'm okay with that one. I like J.L. Campbell's thrillers.
J.L.
And
Campbell,
then then we going into the Wolf Pack. That's not gonna be on the show though. That's gonna be in the chat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not too bad, not too bad. Because I'm like, I need a little break from all this, all this abuse and all this kind of stuff, and abusing kids and all that. I'm over it for a minute. But Jennifer and
definitely,
Erica, I think Jennifer and Erica are saying they both enjoyed the book.
she said, I rolled my eyes hard.
Oh, at the husband.
Yes.
And then she said book 3 kept you. Now, when you say tears, do you mean tears, funny tears, or do you mean
Because Jennifer
sad
cried
tears,
a lot.
Erica?
Did she cry? Because wait, don't
Is
tell
it
me.
is
but
it
tell
sad
me.
tears, Erica? If it's sad tears, I'm gonna have to put it aside for.
That
I
was-
mean, I'm gonna have to wait. It's got to be on my TBR for a minute.
Oh
But
my God. I like tears. Tears have me up in the middle of the night.
happy tears, I love.
I know.
But I ain't trying to be crying and all of that in the book. I'm just,
you know how Jack Quill does.
That's just me. But
She does some good characters. So it's I don't know. But you get so close and you get so intimate with these characters that you feel it when they feel it. So
yeah.
get my tissues ready.
I'm like, y'all can keep all of the broken and scarred, and I told you, scarred is one of the. That one scarred me for real when I read that series, and I said, never again. So now when I see those type of titles, I stay away from them. Like, and I read that back in my 30s, and I'm like, that still stayed with me, like scarred me, like, oh my gosh. The stuff the woman in that series went through, I'm like, I learned then.
So what was the premise?
I don't read to be depressed and stuff, huh?
Was it like it was abuse in there?
It was abuse and not always physical, but it was like the guy always like beating her down mentally and emotionally, and and it was over like 4 or 5 books. I can't remember how many it was, but it was over an entire. And I'm like, oh my gosh, when is she gonna get? Because like, when is it gonna get better? It wasn't getting better.
Yeah, okay.
It was not getting better. I'm like, what is going on?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that was a good title for it, Scarred.
It did its job.
It did its job. But I don't. Since then, I don't willingly go into books like that.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm reading something like that, it's a surprise. So I appreciate when they put it in the title, so I know to stay away from.
Well, they do that now because you didn't get the trigger warnings.
Right.
Back in the day, you just found out.
Right. You just knew unless you read the synopsis. But even with the synopsis, sometimes they would put it in there, and it would sneak up on you as you read. Like, oh my gosh. Because you got to read it, Katina, so you can see what I'm talking about. It's like this woman did not catch a break. I'm like, I was so depressed after I read that series. I'm like, that stuff stayed with me for a long time. Erica said she could relate to the woman in book 3. It was sad tears. Oh, okay, until they turned happy.
Okay. Happy tears.
So it turned to happy. At least
you gotta go $3 to get happy now. Wait a minute. That what you said? No, I know.
You think I like that, Ola? You said India Ray, King Family Saga, and the Banks Empire. Are those okay? Yeah, because I can read like mafia stuff like that, but like stuff like that's like with like women and children being abused and stuff. I can't get down with that. If it's off page, maybe. But if it's like all throughout the book or all throughout the series,
yeah.
I can look at the news and see all that. I don't need to be reading that.
That's true. King Family, India is. She does the King Family Saga.
India Ray
and the Bank.
I think I've ever heard of this. Oh, let me see. King Family You told me about another one too, Ola, and I did download it. Let me see. And you said the Banks Empire.
That
Okay,
sounds interesting.
it does sound like something I would like. You're right about that. I would probably like that. And then Antoinette said, "Have we read Mia by Kimberly Brown?" I haven't read. I haven't seen Mia, so I know I haven't read it. I have read Kimberly Brown stuff, but I haven't read Mia. What's it about, Antoinette? You think I like it?
Oh, that's the Dillinger.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's
Oh, you know, I
it's
started reading. Started reading book. I couldn't get into book one, so I'm gonna try book going deeper into the series because
try
all of
again.
y'all are reading about it. So I'm gonna go deeper and maybe I'll start with book two or something. But
So good.
cause you know how sometimes the series it needed to get his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I tried reading book one, I couldn't get into it when y'all told me about it.
No, a
Well,
lot of people.
I think it was even before y'all told me about it. I had started reading it.
I think so. I think
Yeah,
so.
and I couldn't even remember what it was why I couldn't because I love her work and other stuff,
No, big fan. Big fan.
but I could not get into book one of the Dillinger. So I'll try it again, y'all. I'll try it again.
What you feel? Did you try to read? What was the other one? Or was that Kimberly Brown? Was that the
Which one?
Crenshaw? I don't know if that was Kimberly Brown or not. That might have been somebody else. Um,
What's
God,
it called? You said?
Crenshaw. And I thought I had it.
Oh, Crenshaw Kings.
Crenshaw Kings. Yes.
I think Jennifer told me about that, and I did read a few
Yeah.
of those.
But that
Was
was
it Cheval? Is that
that's
Cheval
Shivani
Trees,
Tree.
Jennifer?
That's true.
I read a few of those, and it was decent. It was decent. It was decent. I didn't finish the series, though, and I can't remember why, but I think I read like maybe 2 or 3 books in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
is that the one where I can't remember if that was the one. It's one of them where I didn't like the dynamic between the father and the son, and um,
What's wrong with
I don't know what it. I don't know what it was. I'm gonna have to look back through it and see if that was the one.
that?
And then there was one that I put down that y'all told me about that I tried. I think that was I ain't like the way the main character was talking to the female. I'm not anytime the guy is disrespected or I can't get with it. I can't. He was calling her all kind of bees and stuff. I'm like, mm-mm.
Oh no.
I just didn't got out of all of that stuff. But
That's true. That's true.
I can't even remember what book it is, but I think that one was KC's book
Oh, okay.
that I ended up putting down. And he was calling the one girl, and then he made her stand in the hall. I'm like, what kind of shit? And
Oh,
why is
great.
she doing? And I'm like,
What?
why is she doing it?
You said it all.
Yeah, he made her stand in the hall. He made her stand in the hall, called her a bee and all kind of stuff.
And she stood in the hall?
And she stood in the hall.
Oh no.
But
What
she
is
was.
happening?
I gotta look it up and see what book is that. I
You
need to
gotta
ask
find
KC
that.
about that too. What's up with
You
this?
said no.
Because I usually love her, but I put that one down.
No. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so mine tonight is one I read years ago. I think I read it like in maybe 2023, maybe.
Okay.
And I need to actually have her on the show. I haven't seen. I wonder if she's still writing. I haven't seen anything from her in a while.
Okay.
But this might have been my first read by her. But I gave it 4 stars, which you know is high for me.
It is. It is.
And this one is called. I can't even see what that's. Okay.
I'm on whatever you
I'm on whatever you're on. And at first it was like because of sideways. I'm like, what in the world? It's right here in my face. This is right here in my face on my paper. But this is by AC Taylor, and it was published in 2023, and that's when I read it.
Okay.
And it's 268 pages.
Okay.
The genre is saying that it's African American romance, women's fiction, and urban fiction.
Okay.
And it is on Kindle Unlimited. And it's saying he's her client, she's his weakness. One request, and he'll give her anything she desires. For Simone, the only thing she cares about is looking out for the people she loves, maintaining a great reputation as a massage therapist, and building a family with the only man she's ever been with. But when she overhears her longtime boyfriend talking about wanting a hall pass, she's furious. And what starts as a one-sided request soon becomes the opportunity she never knew she needed. Legend is all about, and I remember this is what I loved about it because I love music romance. So Legend is all about the music and making an even bigger name for himself as a solo artist. But after announcing his plans to leave the music group that he's been a part of since he was a teenager, he becomes a target for someone desperate to see his downfall. Determined to maintain his peace, Legend turns to the person who can help alleviate the stress. Not only is Simone his massage therapist, but she's his friend and the one woman he wants but can't have. This is until she accidentally mentions her boyfriend wanting a one-time fling with someone else. See what happens when Simone makes Legend an offer he can't refuse. Rules will be set, and every one of them will be broken. But when all is said and done, will their steamy encounter force Simone to become just as weak for Legend as he is for her? Or will their actions serve them with consequences that make it impossible for them to be anything more than what they've always been? And as I said, I gave it 4 stars.
Okay.
And I remember really enjoying it. Besides the fact that I love a good music romance, I love their chemistry and how he has always liked her from afar, because they've known each other a long time.
Okay.
And I love the layers because he's also been in a music group since he was a teenager, but now he's trying to, break free of that. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, they're resistant, and like I said in the synopsis, somebody is setting out to destroy him. Basically, they
Okay.
want to see him. They want to see him fall. But so you get like different things going on in the story, which I loved. But I really, really enjoyed this, um, and I think y'all would like it. Jennifer, have you read this?
She says she's still writing. AC
Oh, she
Taylor.
is still writing. Okay, yeah. Oh, you say you just read her latest? Okay,
Mhm.
so maybe I'll ask her to come on the show. What's her latest release, Jennifer? Because I really did enjoy this. I wouldn't mind talking about this, but I would have to reread it because it's been a while since I read it.
Yeah. What kind of music is he like? Do you
I think
remember
R
what
and B, I believe.
R&B?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
she's not met this the female character is not married. She's just
She's in a
with
relationship,
guy.
and her boyfriend. Can you imagine your boyfriend telling you he want a hall pass? You know, he want, and you can have one too. We're gonna just have one fling. Um,
What
and
is
so it gives the opportunity for Legend to step in because he's always wanted her.
right.
Um, and then of course once she goes with him, her boyfriend of course has all these hissy fits, and he the one
Clutching
but
pearls.
of course he didn't expect her to actually do it. He just wanted to make it clear that he was going to do it and pretend like he was okay with her doing it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed it though. It was, like I said, it was very layered, and I liked their interactions in it, if I remember correctly.
And it looks like it got a lot of good reviews
Okay, yeah.
online.
For me to give it 4 stars, I had to really
A
really like it.
lot of good
Yeah.
reviews. A
Hmm.
lot of 5 stars um,
Okay.
for this one. So yeah, and it's not a bad length,
Right, because
200,
it's under 300.
and you get it in. And this is, I'm assuming they're in their 30s.
Yeah, I would say about probably 20, late 20s, probably. Yeah,
Okay. Uh-huh.
late 20s, maybe early 30s, but I'm thinking they were probably like in their 20s. But they
Mm.
but they were, they were mature characters. Oh, it's called Perfect Lover. Thank you, Jennifer. So I'm gonna reach out to her because I don't see any of her stuff anymore, and that, how it is on social media with they if you're not actually actively going to people's pages, you're not seeing everything.
That's true. That
But
is true.
yeah, but I really enjoyed this, so gonna have to check out some more of her stuff as well. 'Cause I know she used to be in the group. She probably still in the group, but
Oh wow.
yeah.
So that Perfect Lover is book 2.
Oh, that's pretty too. Okay.
Book 1 is Perfect Rhythm. Am I right? Oh, she got it. She just said it. Yeah, Perfect Rhythm
Oh, okay, Perfect Rhythm.
is the first one.
Is that music too, Jennifer? Is that a music romance? Because that'll be right up my alley if it is.
It does say, yeah, the genre is musical romance.
Okay. So I'm gonna move that up on. I'm gonna put that up to the top on my CVR because that's one of between music and sports. Those are two of my. I like those.
Sports, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I ended up. I still need to go back and read book 4 and 7 in the Desperados too. I need to knock those out.
Forgot about that. Yeah. What was
And
that?
then I sent y'all the epilogue for the one we read. That's in the
Did.
epilogue. I haven't had a chance to read it yet though, but everybody, thank you so much. We went a little over because I was having such a great time talking to Michelle Stimpson, and I can't believe that it took this this long to have her on the show. Because of course we've communicated on social media for years, but I don't know why it took so long to have her on. But I guess I hadn't read anything to her. That's why.
Yeah.
Even though, like I said, Shavonna had been telling me about Mama Bees,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Jennifer said they're both good. Okay. I'll check them out, Jennifer. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for coming out and being so engaged. And please, if you haven't already, check out You Can't Hurry Second Chance. This is very, very, very good. You won't be disappointed.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And check out if you make sure to check out her book recommendations as well.
Oh yeah.
And ours. And then let us know too if you ever check out our highlights and let us know if you what you thought of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'll check these out, Ola, that you told me to check out.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like something that I would like just from the titles. All right, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night. Good night.
Good night.